But I want to go back to what you wrote in the book, What Went Wrong, and you touched on this earlier, page 151. The long quest for freedom has left a string of shabby tyrannies with new-style dictatorships, modern only in their apparatus of repression, specifically Iraq. Why have we had these so-called shabby tyrannies?
When you say we, what exactly do you mean?
The Arab world. Why have we seen these tyrannies?
Well, as I tried to suggest before, the old standards, constraints, limitations have ceased to be effective. And the new ones, Western style, have not been successfully imported. So there is no kind of constraint or restriction on the power of government, such as existed in the past and such as we hope will exist in the future. They're going through this bad period of despotism and dictatorship, European style, but without European limitations.
But why?
It is modernization, as I tried to explain before, that has brought this about. The old constraints have gone, the old limitations are no longer effective. And there's another thing, and that is the communications revolution. People were always, there were always differences in the level of a standard of living and the like between countries and societies and between individuals within the society. Now these are painfully visible every day. Now they measure their performance against others in a way that they couldn't do previously. I mean, not so long ago there were no GNP statistics or tables of achievement. Now there are. They can check where they are every day if they want to. Recently the UN published a report on human development in the Arab world, prepared by a committee of Arab intellectuals. And some of what they describe is devastating. And not only is it devastating, but it is known and perceived as such. That is the crucial difference now.
So based on that, though, and you touched on this earlier, but if you can elaborate on how this world that has dealt with so much repression, can it do what Germany and Japan were able to do after World War II? Is there the support of the people to have a more democratic form of government, particularly in Iraq, but elsewhere in the region, Iran neighboring next door? Can that happen?
I believe that it can happen, as I say, because I look back not only to yesterday, but also to a more distant past. And there I see much that gives reason for hope. I would certainly be very optimistic regarding Iran, where again the situation is one of intense disappointment and disillusionment after the high hopes of the Iranian Revolution of 1979. And there are many signs and indications of the way that Iranians now are very desirous of change. There is, again, a revealing joke. This came to me by from an Iranian friend by means of modern communications. And he says that when the American planes were flying overhead, a lot of Iranians put notices on their roofs in English saying, "This way, please."
And the reason for that?
Well, I think that's fairly clear.